Hey guys, Geisha here. Before we jump into today's episode, I want to give a quick warning. This episode may include sensitive topics like violence, murder, suicide, mental health struggles, sexual assault, and other real-life events that could be upsetting. We know that these topics can be tough to hear, and your well-being is super important to us. So please take care of yourself while listening, and feel free to skip this episode if needed. This is Co-op Chronicles, episode 56. Welcome back. This is Co-op Chronicles, episode 56. I am Pint-Sized Geisha, and as always, I have Blacklabel.
Hello.
And Azzilee.
Hello.
And today's episode is...
We're going to talk about the disturbing mystery of Robert Wone.
Robert Wong.
Yep, murder.
Wong?
Wone, W-O-N-E.
Wong.
Wone.
Wong.
Murder, mistrust, in a locked room. Yes. So...
But
anyway,
first...
Yeah, how's everybody? Oh, yeah, happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy
Father's Day, babe.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, how's your guys' week so far? How's you guys' weekend?
It was good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We had a barbecue yesterday.
Had a barbecue.
Little tiny one.
Mm-hmm.
Little tiny one.
Play some card games? Card games.
Card games.
Card game.
What did we
Pretty
play?
Monikers. And
Monikers.
faking it.
Faking it.
Shout out to John,
I
or
can't-
1IQ,
For being here.
for stopping through.
Yeah, I don't know.
For being your MVP on the team.
Oh my god, yeah. I don't know how to play faking it. I'm so bad. What was it? What did I say? My cat?
My
My
cats.
My cats.
So faking it is it's pretty fun. I had lots of fun. Like you get the card, and one of you guys is the faker,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the cards we pulled, it was one of the questions was, what hobbies do you find most attractive in someone else?
In a partner.
In a partner, right? But Label was the faker, so his question was different. As said, taking care of my dogs.
But I didn't remember what it said too.
Yeah. I said cooking, and Black Label just goes, my cats.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't know how to
We're
do
like,
this.
we automatically know you're...
I was the faker 3
faker.
times in a row, and I was bad at it every single time. Like the skateboarding
Was
one.
it 3 times?
It was.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, no, not again.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. Well, let's get into this one. I seen this one, and I was like, this is crazy. I mean, I've seen a lot of them recently that I want to do, and this one was kind of insane. Like, it was. We'll just get into it. So
we'll get into it.
It's an unsettling, confounding case of modern true crime. I think there's a lot of contradictions to the story. This man, when you hear the story, you would think he was in a safe space, nothing was going to happen to him, and then somehow he just gets murdered. He was a 32-year-old lawyer, married, and by all accounts living a stable life. On the night of August 2nd, 2006, he stayed over at his friend's house. He stayed over at a home of his college friend's house, Joseph Price in Washington, D.C. And just hours later, Robert was found dead. He was stabbed 3 times in his chest, but the scene told a far stranger story. There was no signs of entry, like forced entry. There was no evidence of a struggle. All his 3 housemates, all their stories matched up.
to the T.
But they didn't add up, if that makes sense. Like, their stories were, identical.
Like, rehearsed.
Too
too
perfect.
good. Like, too good.
Perfect. Too perfect.
And like, it didn't add up. So, we're going to dive into some of these disturbing events, and I'm going to explain, the forensics that made people question the whole thing, a locked room mystery that still has people asking, like, who did it or who killed Robert Wong. Have you guys ever heard of a crime where everything just felt too clean?
Yes.
Yeah?
All the time. Don't ask me for an example, though.
Okay.
Or I feel
you're coming off like a criminal right now, and I don't like it.
Don't ask.
I
Don't
always
ask me
refer
out.
back to the what the fuck, the OJ. Like there was so much evidence, but yet somehow, just saying,
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
perfect crime got away with it, even though there's a gajillion amounts of evidence.
but was it too clean though?
No, but the trial was weird.
Well,
I
it
don't
was
know.
just that's just a different thing.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm reaching for straws here.
What about you?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that coffee's so good.
If you were the police, what would you have? I guess you don't know the scene yet, but
we need to-
But knowing the scene that I explained to you, like he was stabbed 3 times, all their stories matched up. What would you think lining up into this? Do you think like there's no
Somebody's
forced
alive.
entry? If I knew there was no forced entry, there's 3 dudes in there and one guy's dead, I'm automatically assuming one of them did it.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
that's sus. Like,
Yeah.
how do you? I just think it's crazy. that
And
you
nobody
don't
knew,
know.
nobody heard it, nobody knew.
Yeah.
Wait till you hear what I have for you, though. Okay, it's gonna be crazy. So the night of the murder shows that the timelines they don't match up. It doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna reconstruct the final hours of Robert Wone's life.
Okay.
So Robert Wone left left work around 6:30 on August 2nd. He traveled to DuPont Circle, home of Joseph Price, where Price lived with his partner, Victor Zaborski, and another man, Dylan Ward. The 3 men were reportedly in a polyamorous relationship. Robert had planned to sleep over due to a late-night legal training session, and he told his wife that he would be safe there. At 11:49, Zaborski called 911, claiming an intruder had stabbed Robert, but when EMTs and police arrived, the body was too clean. There was no blood splatter, no mess, no defensive wounds on Robert. His body just had been washed. His body was just washed. He was placed neatly on a guest bed, and officers immediately suspected the crime scene had been staged. So this timeline just doesn't hold. Like if somebody really broke in and attacked Robert and left undetected, if that was the case, like where would the chaos be? Well, why does the bed look clean? Why was Robert's body warm if the paramedics arrived minutes after the supposed murder? Why was he just washed? There's a lot of details in this case that just obviously makes a detective go, your guys' stories don't match up. What do you think is more suspicious, a clean crime scene or a chaotic one?
A clean one. Because if it was a chaotic one, that means to me in my head that someone didn't take the time to clean it. They left their mess everywhere. Get what I'm saying? A clean one is like somebody took the time.
That's more suspicious, though. Clean is more suspicious.
Yeah, that's what she said.
I thought she said a chaotic one.
No.
Oh.
She started with clean, and then she changed. She was like, chaotic is like, oh, you're just doing it, whatever.
Yeah.
But she said clean.
So you think clean is more suspicious?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, yeah. I
I'm
think
sorry.
you
It
got
just
confused.
You're
I got
confusing me.
No, I got confused because you said it kind of. Yeah. What about you, Az?
I think it depends. Clean is very suspicious, but also chaotic is kind of suspicious because it's like, was this done? Because you could say it's just like spur of the moment, so that could be kind of sus. But also, what if it's not chaotic and it was done that way specifically to like throw you off the track?
Yeah. So, how do you explain the lack of evidence for the break-in?
The roommates did it.
Yep. They a bunch of liars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dirty rotten liars.
So some of the clues don't lie, obviously. Forensics has, like, this crime scene was wild. So the forensic evidence in this case tells a story, but not the one that all the roommates gave. So there was no blood found in the hallway, the staircase, or near the entrance, despite the claims that an intruder had entered and fled. Even more shocking, there's no fingerprints on a knife that supposedly killed Robert, and the knife didn't even match the wounds that they said he was stabbed with. Later analysis suggested a killer used a different blade, possibly a smaller knife that was missing from Ward's personal collection. Robert also had unexplained needle marks on his body. The toxicology report showed no obvious drugs in his system, but the testing was limited. And it has been theorized that he may have been paralyzed by an unknown substance prior to the stabbing, which would be like, that's why he wasn't struggling or did anything or moved around, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So when the body is washed, stabbed mortem, sorry, and placed in a bed like they were tucked in for the night, it doesn't scream panic. You know what I mean? It screams that somebody planned this, obviously. There's needle marks suggesting, yeah, obviously he was incapacitated by something, and he was unable to fight back or even scream. Forensic didn't just raise red flags, they set off alarms.
Alarm bells are going off.
They're going off. When you hear stuff like this, what's your guys' gut reaction when you hear someone might have been paralyzed before being murdered?
That's awful. Have you seen that movie Awake with Christian Haydenson?
Oh, that's the one that I watched the end of it, right? Where she was like being pushed on a boat out in the water?
No. This is a really old movie. He has to have open heart surgery, and his anesthesia works, but he's still conscious and he still feels everything, but his body is doesn't cooperate and doesn't move.
Oh.
So like he's conscious
and he feels everything, but he can't move.
He feels everything and he can't move. He can't tell them like, "Hey, I'm not under my body. My body's under, but my mind is not."
Damn.
I read that's
is that a real thing?
It's an actual thing that like only like 1% of people have. Like their
How
body,
do they tell though
their body
if that happens?
metabolizes anesthesia too quickly, but their body is still like under, but they wake up.
How can they tell that's happening to the person? They can't, huh?
I don't think they can.
What was that one movie that you remember the guy paralyzed her and he took her out to the boat and then she kind of was able to move?
Oh, it's on Netflix. I don't remember what it's called.
That was an interesting movie too. Listening from this, do you guys think the police dropped the ball by not doing a broader tox screening? Because considering that they said they only did like a small variety of toxicology.
Yes.
Yeah, it's always weird.
That they don't do like a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they pick and choose which cases to do that on.
Yeah,
it's so
it's
weird.
really odd. And I don't know if they're like, oh, it costs so much money for resources. I feel like you should just do that. That's your job. I don't know. Okay. Anyways.
I think there's like there's a normal toxicology that is run with all autopsies, but I think you need like a certain amount of evidence to pursue the more in-depth ones. But I would imagine that anything foul play can be enough evidence to get the broader one, you know?
Yeah.
Especially if the dude has injection holes throughout his body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get what you mean. I get what you're dealing there, Chief.
You hear me?
I hear you.
What is it? I hear you, big dog.
Oh, yeah. I hear you barking, big dog.
I hear you barking, big dog.
All right. So the house was locked tight. All three residents said that they were in bed when the intruder supposedly came in, murdered their guests, and vanished without a trace.
Lies.
No one heard screams. No one saw anything. And they all told the fucking identical story, which sounded rehearsed. And they were just calm about it. You know what I mean? So it's like they planned this stuff. That's how it comes across. These fucking guys murdered their friend. But they said they didn't do it. So detectives quickly picked up on inconsistencies. The residents lawyered up immediately. They refused to do polygraphs. And the most damning thing that they did, they began speaking through the attorneys rather than the cooperative witnesses. Or they began speaking through their attorneys rather than helping out with the case, rather than being cooperative witnesses.
Oh, like
so instead of
everything was
talking
like,
to the police,
gotcha.
They were just going, well, this is what happened. And they went through their lawyers. I mean, one of them, I believe, is a lawyer. And considering the victim is a lawyer, I mean, I'm sure they all have like their reasons why they did that. Probably because they just don't trust the law. But in this case, would you guys rather lawyer up instantly if your friend was murdered in your house? Or would you be like, I'm going to be cooperative and I'm going to help out as much as I can? I think if it's in your house, you got to help out. And it's your friend, unless you did something.
Unless you did it.
Okay, no. I will always lawyer up.
I mean, I think I might
because
too.
the police will always twist your words regardless of whether you're innocent or not. So they technically made the smart decision.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Because it is very incriminating that they were there and they were like they didn't know that it happened to him, but they were in the same house. So, like, the police will obviously spin it on them.
Yeah, I've
That's
seen
true.
so many cases where, yeah, you're right, that they do, like, find a way to...
It is, like, not helpful that they weren't being... It's not good that they weren't being helpful, but they
it's
were
probably
smart
the
to
smart
lawyer
decision,
up.
yeah. Why
Always.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
Why do you guys think that none of the roommates broke under the pressure?
I
Because
don't
they
know.
did it.
Because it was fucking planned, right?
They did it.
Because they did it. Them assholes.
They're smart. You said one's a lawyer?
Huh?
The victim was a lawyer as well.
I think one of them was.
Yeah.
So this
then-
wa- yeah.
So it was definitely premeditated for a minute, probably.
Yeah, so this wasn't a panicked house. It was coordinated defense. Like, the moment things didn't add up, they shut down. No one cracked, no one slipped. It became less of a tragedy and more of a performance. A locked door might keep a killer out, but they can also keep secrets in.
They didn't.
Very wise.
They weren't, like,
man.
close friends with the victim?
They were.
They were all friends.
They were all... The main guy, Price, was his friend, his college friend.
Did they know he was... Sorry, you might have said this, but did they know he was in the house? at
Yes,
the time?
they planned for him to stay over a late... Because he had, like, a late study session.
Well, yeah, they definitely did it. They just have really good lawyers.
All right. So the crime scene cleanup, a showered mystery. The EMTs who responded to 911 call said something that haunted investigators. The three men were all freshly showered in clean robes when they arrived. There was no blood on their hands, no sign of a struggle, and the entire home smelt of bleach. One EMT said it was the cleanest murder scene he'd ever witnessed. Investigators found towels that had been run through the laundry and washing machine still damp with use. When you're trying to convince police of, like, a break-in, I think the last thing you want to do is clean up.
Yeah.
So I'm not exactly sure why they did it. It's almost as if the whole thing was scripted from the get-go. Before the officer even knocked on the door, they're clean. The body was clean. Like, so
Did they call the police? Or?
They did. Price called the police. So who knows how long the body was there before they called the cops. The big question remains is, were they really trying to wash something away? I do believe that when it happened, the person, I don't know if it was the upstairs roommate or the bottom stairs roommate, said that he heard an alarm go off, kind of like the Ring alarm when you open the door. He heard that go off, and then he said he heard somebody run up and down the stairs. And I do recall during an interview of it, the cop was asking the guy, he's like, so he ran down within 5 seconds and you didn't see him from whatever entry to downstairs, stab your friend within this amount of time before you called you called the cops. So this all happened in a matter of minutes that your friend got stabbed and all this stuff, and there was like no blood. It was a crazy thing. I recall when the cop was talking to him, and the guy was like, "Yeah, that's what happened." It just doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
What would be your first thought if you were a cop and you came to this house and all three roommates were freshly showered after the murder?
Lock them up.
What were you guys doing together?
I mean, they are a polyamorous group of men. Apparently, one of them was in a relationship, but they kind of fooled around with the third guy. So they were all three, like, just having a...
I would definitely question them, like, why is no one panicking?
Mm-hmm.
There's no panic.
Yeah, exactly.
Too calm, if you'll ask me.
Yeah. Like, I do recall at one point, too, as well, was one of the EMTs said that they felt so uncomfortable around them as if, like, the roommates were going to attack them. Like, they just had a feeling and they never felt that feeling before at a crime scene.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen a true crime
Maybe
scene?
they were on drugs.
Who knows?
Maybe some kind of mental health thing.
Yeah. So, despite all the suspicious behavior, forensic contradictions, the three men were never charged with Robert's murder. Instead, in 2008, they were indicted for obstruction of justice, tampering with evidence, and conspiracy. But during the 2010 trial, the judge ruled that while their behavior was suspicious, the government hadn't proven beyond a reasonable doubt what exactly happened or who committed the murder. All were acquitted. So this wasn't just a frustrating thing for the investigators. It was infuriating, obviously, for Robert's family. there was no justice. It was just silence. Even the three men, even if the three men weren't the killers, they knew something and they took knowledge to the grave. Just, you know,
Oh, they all died?
No. It was just like they took knowledge to the grave of public opinion. It's just like the case flatlined in court despite all the signs pointing to deception.
What state was this in?
New York.
New York?
DC?
Yeah, D.C.
Oh, D.C.?
Washington, D.C.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. What's worse? What's worse? No trial or a trial where no one gets convicted?
No trial, I think, for me. Because then it's like saying, like, it's not even, we don't have anything. We're not going to do anything about it. At least in a trial, you have that jury that can make a decision. Like, oh, yes, like, I hear the story. I heard you out. Guilty, not guilty. And no trials, like, we're not going to even give this case any light of day. That's how I think about it, you know?
Would you guys call this justice system failure?
I guess, yeah, because, well, but you see stuff like this all the time. Like, the police don't really, like, have a good grasp on procedures most of the time, and things slip through the cracks, or they try and cover up stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So Kathy Wone, Robert's widow, fought tirelessly for answers. She filed a wrongful death civil lawsuit against the three men, which ended in a confidential settlement. So she obviously got paid outside of court. But even after the legal dust settled, no one has been held responsible for Robert's death. The murder remains unsolved till this day. No one has ever been named a suspect. Robert's family never got a clear answer, just whispers, rumors, and shadows. And for Kathy, who thought her husband was safe at a friend's home, the absence of justice is what is a wound that will never heal. Would you guys ever be able to forgive if you were in her shoes, if something like this happened and you knew the other people? Because she knew Price. She knew he was her man's friend. Would you guys be able to forgive something like this that happened?
No.
I don't think I could.
I would go kill him.
Oh, watch your mouth. You're indicted now. You're gonna get murdered, or you're gonna go to trial.
I would wreak vengeance.
I
I am vengeance.
Where is she?
Yeah.
You've never seen me and Batman in the same room.
I
I'm
would
just saying.
never forgive or forget.
Yeah.
Trust me, if an opportunity arose, I would make your life miserable.
There's some crazy stuff though I still haven't got into yet. So, why do you think public's, like in general, because every time a case like this comes up, why do you think people are so fascinated, not just with this case in general, but like cases like this, like crime scenes that are unsolved but they should be solved? Why do you think there's a fascination with this?
Go ahead, Az.
One option could be the police. A lot of people have differing opinions about the police. Some people probably like cases like this because it points out the flaws in the system. Or it could just be like the mystery of it. Like, all the evidence is so damning, and yet people said that they were innocent. So it's very confusing. That's very conflicting. And I think that's really fun. I think people like to try and put the pieces together.
No, for sure.
Yeah. For me, it's people are crazy. And for some reason, I like to know how crazy people are and what they'll do.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
you can't, like, top, you know? Like, I don't know.
No, I get it.
You get what I'm saying?
I get
I'm
what
just curious. I'm curious about how crazy people can get.
Yeah, I hear you barking, big dog.
Oh, my God, don't.
So these guys were into some stuff. They're into, what is it called? BDSM?
Oh.
Bondage stuff.
Bondage stuff. And they're into that stuff. So investigators dug deeper into the household dynamics, and they discovered that Dylan Ward had written an erotic fiction and owned a plethora of BDSM equipment.
BDSM event gone wrong.
Yeah. some of the
or they forced him to do it.
Yeah.
And then they killed him by mistake.
So
and they put him in the shower because all the evidence was on his body.
Yeah, just listen. Keep listening.
I'm sorry. Keep going.
So some of the gear was found in a cabinet near the guest room. This led to a controversial theory that Robert was drugged and assaulted as part of an experiment or non-consensual sex act gone wrong. There was no concrete evidence of sexual assault, but forensics testing suggested possibility of cleaning up the bodily fluids. That alone set speculation into overdrive, and it became one of the most debated angles in the case. And if I'm not mistaken, they did find bodily fluids in his rectum, and it was his own DNA in there.
How does that happen?
Yeah, which is insane. Like how does that happen? It is a correct thing.
They're probably into really weird stuff.
Yeah,
and that was probably something that they did.
Yeah, which is insane to think about.
Yes. Side note.
Yes.
Is now a good time for a side note?
I mean, I'm not done with it, but you can go ahead. No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Before I have it written down, so you're good.
Side note: people are into some really weird stuff. We just heard a Tinder date Tinder text turned into a song about some woman wanting to fart in some man's pee hole.
Oh yeah,
remember?
Yeah, people are very weird.
So people are weird. Or I don't want to say weird. I feel like that's mean. People have
kinks.
We're
not kink shaming.
Unusual kinks.
Yeah, we're not kink shaming, but people do have some fucking weird kinks.
Unusual.
Yeah, unusual.
Uncommon.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the people with weird kinks know that they're fucking weird. So if they hear me say they have weird kinks, they probably are like, yeah, my shit's a little weird.
Uncommon.
So
that's why it's
don't take offense.
I'm going to be politically correct and just say uncommon.
Yeah, it is wild though that they found his own DNA, his own semen in his booty hole. Exactly, especially when they know
because it didn't get there by himself.
Yep. Yeah. So there was no concrete evidence, as I said before, of sexual assault. His body was cleaned up of bodily fluids. There was no that set speculation into overdrive. So true crime often walks a fine line between evidence and conjecture. And here that things got murky real fast. The media jumped on the BDSM angle right away, talking about all this and that. But the real issue wasn't the lifestyle. It was as if was their consent of what happened. The theory that Robert may have been paralyzed and used as an unwilling participant it makes it more horrifying that, what if he was paralyzed and had all this shit happen to him while he was alive? And if it was true, it transforms this from a murder mystery into something even darker. Do you think that the BDSM angle helped or hurt the investigation?
You want to go, Az?
No, go ahead.
I feel like I talk over you all the time, so I'm trying to be mindful and let you talk.
No, go ahead. It's okay.
I was going to say, I think what I'm hearing and what I think is that that is accurate. They drugged him. That's why he has the pinpricks in him, right? They drugged him. They forced him to do these crazy BDSM, whatever acronym thing. Killed him, or accidentally killed him, and then washed his body because evidence is on there, and then cleaned up, and then made this crazy story about somebody stabbing him. They stabbed him afterwards. Or maybe they didn't send. Maybe he didn't accidentally die. Maybe they just stabbed him afterwards and was like, "You're gonna remember all of this. You're gonna tell, and we're gonna get in trouble." Stab, stab, stab.
What is bizarre though is there's no blood in the house.
Got washed off.
So you're saying
they
that
say it smelled like bleach.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying they also checked. I believe they checked like the drains and stuff, and they didn't find blood. So it's just really weird that
Dexter, they put plastic everywhere.
They knew he was coming, and they
had a whole plan for it.
They did a whole plan for it. Maybe he was really just jealous of him the entire time or something.
I think that
I don't know.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like theories can be a distraction to like real case. Obviously, they're into some crazy stuff, but the BDSM angle could have. I don't know. Maybe it was a good angle to pursue, but sometimes it's probably like bad where you push so hard that you go away from the what might have really happened.
Probably.
Just doing devil's advocate, you know?
No,
what I mean?
it's definitely possible because like if you're so stuck on the BDSM angle, then did they like search the property for like the outside property for stuff? Maybe they killed him not in the house. Maybe they killed him outside and like brought him in. Mm-hmm. Because the only thing I'm getting hung up on was that all of them were so calm. Because, like, so they were all willing participants. Because usually you always get that one person where they're, like, super nervous because they didn't want to do it, but they're being forced by the other ones. Like, they were all so calm. So they all wanted to kill him for some reason, probably.
And it's one thing, it's odd. I think none of them are together nowadays. Like, I think they all split up from each other and they're all living their own life, like doing their own thing.
Because the guilt was eating away at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing was, obviously, we've talked about this many times, is there's internet sleuths out there. And the public's obsession with trying to figure out what happened to any crime in general. So this case...
Give it to me.
Yep. This case blew up online. Reddit threads, YouTube documentaries, true crime forums, and even dedicated blogs. All trying to piece together what police couldn't. Some people analyzed the 911 call line by line. Others recreated the house layout, and more than a few pointed fingers. Even after nearly 2 decades, this case draws armchair detectives who are still convinced that the truth is hidden in plain sight. The locked room angle made this an internet obsession. But more than that, it was the silence, the refusal to speak on what really happened, as in the people that were in this place and went through their lawyers, the mystery that pulled people in. When justice failed, the internet community stepped in. For better or worse, in Robert's case, they become the loudest voice demanding answers. Have you ever followed a case online and got sucked into the theories? I have.
I probably have.
I have many times.
I'm not going to lie.
Actually, what was the one case I was watching? It was, man, I can't even think of it. I've been watching so many cases recently.
You have been. You've been binge watching that chapter. Shout out to that chapter.
Yeah, that guy's funny. I like that guy. Have you? No? Nobody?
I'm already really depressed with my life. So
Oh my God.
I don't want to read about murders in the world.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Are we
I'm just kidding.
twisted people
I'm
then?
just kidding.
Probably.
I don't, like, I already know the world's a bad place, so I don't want to, like, bog my brain down with more terrible things.
You know, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, there's
Preference.
a lot of cases where I'm just like, they find a culprit and they get the suspect, but sometimes I think, like, is that the real suspect, or did the police plant something because the social media and all the outcries putting so much pressure on them to solve it that they're like, we got to do this right away. I know there's one case in New York where I can't remember how long ago, but a young lady was jogging. She normally runs with her dad in the morning, but he couldn't make it this time. She was jogging alone, and then they found some ongoing, like, pedestrian just running the trail, found her body. And so all this stuff happened, and they couldn't find the person who did it. Some people said it was like this one guy and all this stuff. And then they ended up, out of nowhere, finding a random suspect. And when you hear his testimony of him admitting that he did it, it doesn't match up to where she's at, because he talks about, like, he drowned her in water and all this stuff, and there was no lake or water near this trail, and it was just weird. So I was just like, getting sucked into these theories that all these people are saying.
Maybe he actually did kill someone, but it's the wrong person.
But this person also had, like, he was on the spectrum. So it was, like, very weird.
Well, then you gotta deep dive, because maybe the water's not actually water and it's a metaphor for something else.
Yeah, it could be. All right, so we're gonna break down some of the 911. Okay.
Okay.
So one of the most haunting pieces of this case is the 911 call. Victor Zaborski sounded distressed, but some experts feel like it was rehearsed. He repeatedly claims someone broke in and someone stabbed our friend, but avoids giving details. When asked to apply pressure, he doesn't confirm whether anyone actually did. The calm and distant, like pressure on the person. The calm and almost distant tone combined with the immediate use of phrases like intruder and guess made police wonder, were they spinning a narrative? Because, like, why would you say somebody stabbed our friend, he's a guest, or intruder, this and that? Like, nobody talks like that. I mean, I if something was happening like that, I would not be like, my guest was stabbed by an intruder. That just doesn't sound like something I would say. I'd be like, yo, my friend was fucking stabbed by somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what happened. I found him like this. So clearly, it just sounded scripted.
Yeah.
Most 911 calls during an actual emergency are chaotic, loud, and full of confusion. So this one felt very clinical, like someone was reading a prepared statement. And when first responders arrived to see a spotless room and 3 fucking dudes in a robe, it obviously raises red flags, especially when they're not panicked. You know. So have you ever listened to a 911 call that didn't feel right? I'm sure we've all watched stuff.
All the time.
All the time.
I wonder if I've never had to call. Well, I lied. I did have to call 911. But I wonder in this situation, like, I'm so logical. I wonder how I would be on the phone when I called 911.
Dude, you know, I had to call 911 one time, and it was okay. I was not handling the situation well, so I had to call. It was when I lived with my ex, and like his son's girlfriend like OD'd in our fucking house.
Oh, no.
So we had to call 911. So I was calling, and I was like, oh my god, like I was super calm about it because my brain could not catch up. So I was just like, yeah, like, she's not breathing. We're trying to, like, do all this stuff. And they're like, okay, well, like, you have to press on her chest really hard and blah, blah, and like, trying to do that. And it was the weirdest situation. But, yeah, I was, like, super calm when I should not have been.
Did she die?
No, her sister lived right down the street. And I guess this is, like, a common thing that happens to her. So she just, like, came in, did, like, 2 compressions, and she was fine.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but she was like, her lips were turning blue. It was crazy. It's terrifying.
That is
you gotta
terrifying.
get the Narcan on deck.
Yeah, we didn't have any, and then her sister
What's
gave
that?
us some afterwards.
What is that?
She's like, keep
The
this in your
OD
house.
medicine.
Oh my god.
The one that you
she
spray up
just
the
has
nose.
some?
Yeah, I guess because
You can get them all over the place now.
because she's not a good kid.
Drug
she was
epidemic,
not
guys.
a good kid. So
The fact that they just have it on deck it's kind of
A lot of people have
Yeah.
it on deck.
Really?
When I'm at work and I'm just like, oh, you have an Narcan on deck? Yeah, just in case.
That's
when
just
you go to
terrifying.
concerts, you should have it on hand too, because a
Yeah.
lot of people do drugs when they go to concerts.
Yep. Like a lot of people are on like Suboxone and stuff like that have it.
Moral of the story, though, I was very calm, only
Really?
because my brain was in shock.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I wonder how I would be like in this situation.
I
feel like I'd be super logical.
sometimes I feel like I'm the annoying pedestrian because sometimes I call the cops. Like say I'm driving. I've called the cops like a few times. Well, like I'll call them, but like I don't know if this is an emergency, but there's a car just stuck in the middle of the intersection. Like I've done that before. And when on my way back, the car was just like pulled over to the side and the EMTs were there. So clearly something happened to this person and nobody was calling the cops. People were just going around this car. And I was like, something's going to happen. So I'm going to call the cops on that.
Nobody wants to get involved anymore.
Yeah.
But the bystander effect.
What is it called? The good citizen thing too.
Isn't
Like
that's
when
the
you
same
call
thing,
the cop.
right?
I don't know. Bystander effect, I feel, is more of like
No one
saying
does
nobody wants to
anything-
get involved.
No, nobody does anything because I think someone else is going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And then the Good Samaritan law is like if you call 911 or you try to help someone in a distressing moment, you should be protected and you can't be like sued or anything like that. But they could still attempt to sue you.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works.
Interesting.
But yeah.
Okay. So how... I forgot what I was going to ask you guys.
Sorry.
Okay. So we're going to talk about the psychology of silence. Okay. So this part, the 3 individuals were under... What was I going to say?
Under drugs, under
Duress.
distress. They were definitely doing some sort of drug.
They were under the impression that one of the other ones called.
Hold on.
Panda.
Let me find my notes.
Panda.
Panda sucks.
Panda. Do you remember that song?
It wasn't Panda though. It was something else, wasn't it?
No, it's Panda.
Okay. I know it was like some kind of.
Okay, so this part gets people every time. The three individuals, under massive public and legal scrutiny, managed to maintain the same story for almost 20 years. No confessions, no accidental slip-ups, no signs of stress breaking them down. Some believe it was loyalty to each other. Others say it was a legal strategy, but there's a third theory, and maybe they were all involved into it and that they all shared the guilt and that made them stronger. So, like, they're like, okay, they're not going to break because they did something. And this person's not going to break because this person did something. Like, they all did something. And
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like, they're like, if one of us breaks, we're all going to jail.
Yeah. Like, each of them played up. Like, one person might have... Maybe they stabbed... There was 3 of them, right?
Yep. There's
maybe
3 puncture wounds, too.
Stabbed them one time and is like, if you fuck up, we're all going down because we all did it type of situation.
It's very...
Kind of like that train.
Train?
The Oriental Express.
Oh, where they all stabbed.
Where they all did it. Sorry, spoiler.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, so the human mind usually folds under pressure, especially when you're hiding something. Mm-hmm. But these 3, they never blinked. They never changed their story. Their resilience was like insane. So clearly they didn't get locked up for this. Or maybe it was fear of what would happen if the truth really came out. Because like I said, one of them was a lawyer as well. So they all were successful type of people. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, one of the people were, you remember the Got Milk commercials? Like Got Milk? And it was like for milk. And they had like it was like a bunch of movie or like athletes or a bunch of people and they would have like the milk mustache. One of them was the creator of that whole
Got Milk
pitch thing. Yeah. So
interesting.
So they're all well off. So it's just weird, you know what I mean? I hope I'm telling that right, but I remember reading that somewhere. So the media couldn't resist this story. An Ivy League victim, a prominent gay couple, a locked room, a mansion, and it was a perfect recipe for sensational headlines. And it brought in numbers. But with that came missteps, speculative reporting, damaging rumors, and sometimes outright misinformation. This case became less about Robert Wone and his unfortunate murder to more about tabloid drama. True crime storytelling walks a dangerous line between justice and exploitation. When headlines focus more on sex and mystery rather than the victim and justice, they always lose sight of who this was really about. And it was about Robert Wone, who was a human being and not a device for an amazing plot. Have you guys ever seen any documentaries? I feel like there's so many documentaries like this that have, crossed the line when it came to stuff like this about the victim.
Wait, what do you mean?
Instead of getting justice for the victim, it's all about this person did it and this person did it. And who are these people that might have did it? They don't talk about like the victim.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Lots of times. All of them. Majority of all of them.
Yeah, I feel like majority of like serial killers, it's always like that. It's like this serial killer, he did this and this and this and he killed all these people, but it's like,
right.
Okay, he killed this person and this person. They just kind of skim over who they really were.
Yes, interesting enough. Why is it that we remember the serial killer, right? Jack the Ripper, the Night Stalker, Zodiac Killer, but we never remember any of the victims?
It's because
there's so many.
Exactly.
Most of the time,
but we should be the opposite.
But people are also about like the story and like the whole like what happened.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are not saying this in a bad way, but you guys are prime examples because what do? You watch true crime movie shows all the time, and you could probably name off all of those killers, but very little of their victims.
Exactly. The victims should go down in history books, not the killers.
It's just
we should ease out the killers from history.
Media.
I agree, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well, not what I've been watching recently because it always talks about the victims. So,
well, I like those type of documentaries where they put the victims at the heart of it and the spotlight of it. Because I'm just saying.
Yeah. What do you guys think a true ethical crime coverage should look like then, in your opinion? Like, should it talk about the victim first and who are these victims?
I think it should just focus on the victim, like, and like their life, like what led to the incident, how it could have come about, instead of like, this killer, they followed this person for like 1,000,000 days and blah blah blah. Like, I don't need to know that.
Yeah.
I don't really care. There's people who stalk people all the time.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is a good segue to talk about who was Robert Wone. And let's reclaim the victim story on this one.
Yes.
So Robert was more than a man at the center of a mystery. He was a loving husband, a loyal friend, and a devout Christian. He was also a respected lawyer. He worked with Asian American legal organizations and had an incredible close-knit circle of friends and family who adored him. The tragedy isn't just the mystery, it's the loss. A man who lived a long, full life was taken under the most bizarre, preventable, and cruel circumstances.
Circumstances.
Circumstances, thank you.
You're welcome.
This case can't just be about theories and suspects. We have to bring it back to Robert. He was thoughtful, accomplished, and a devoted person to his services. The system didn't give him justice, but we can still give him remembrance. How do you think we, as a podcast, can help shift focus back to the victims? I guess just like what I did there. You talk about who they are, what they did, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you gandering at, Miss Azzilee?
I was going to show Geisha. Remember when you were talking about last podcast about the Sony Nintendo thing? Did you see the post that someone...
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what's... Man, what was I going to say?
You know what's weird?
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of what I was going to talk about. Whatever. What stood out most to you guys about this case that I brought up so far? Do you guys remember anything I said about Robert's life?
Yes, of course.
What?
That it ended very tragically. And he was a lawyer who worked with the Asian community.
Oh, I just said that. Okay.
Yeah, see, I'm paying attention.
Thank you. Thank you for paying attention.
I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
I mean, this man, he must have... I mean, he must have trusted these three men very much if he stayed the night. I think that's... I don't know.
Lesson to everyone out there. Just don't be cheap. Get a hotel room.
Don't have friends.
So this
don't trust your friends.
This is Robert Wong right here. And this is the Price guy. And so these are the three guys.
Ew, of course Price would be white.
All three of them are white. Yeah.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
Ew, the middle guy looks really creepy.
He does. I feel they all look like they were a part of it. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's just me, in my opinion. Clearly, they knew something.
Yeah.
You don't just find somebody that's stabbed 3 times, cleaned up scene, they're all showered. It just blows my mind that they weren't convicted of anything. If it was anybody else, I would assume easily they would be locked up. It just blows my mind. So the locked mystery, or the locked room, which is what this is called, this case reignites interest in locked room murder mysteries, stories where the victim is found dead in a sealed space with no way in or out. From Sherlock Holmes to the last of Shella. It's a like a Sherlock Holmes thing. The genre thrives on confusion and contradiction, but the Wong case was real, and that realism made it even more chilling. So the locked room mysteries fascinate us because they feel impossible, because he was found in a locked room. But this case reminded us that real life can be as strange as fiction and a more tragic thing. The missing key isn't a twist, it's the silence. Do you guys enjoy locked room mysteries in movies and games? Do you understand what a locked room is, babe?
Yes.
Such as like Saw. I believe Saw would be a locked room, right? The first one?
I feel like I would survive.
You would?
Saw.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
All right.
I wonder, side note.
Yeah.
I wonder why his family, or I wonder what was going through his family's heads when they took the settlement from the 3 guys. Like, did they just try and want to, like, end the publication of it, or did they just, like, were they tired of something, or I don't know. I was like, why would you take a settlement, though?
Yeah, it is very strange. Maybe it was like they knew.
More money
yeah, maybe they like knew that they weren't gonna get justice, and they wanted something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
I don't know. I just feel like.
I wonder what they had to do to get that money, though. Like, can they not talk about it anymore? Can they not blame them anymore?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, like I assume if you take a settlement deal and you're
just going to drop it.
You have to drop it, right? You can't just stain their
keep
name
going.
and stuff about it.
I would never take a settlement. I'm blasting your name everywhere.
Everybody's going to know who you are and what
Everybody's
you did.
going to know what you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, final thoughts and theories.
I'm finding their wives. I'm letting them know what kind of murderer they married.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, they're all gay, right?
Yeah.
Never
Yeah,
mind.
they're all.
I'll find their
You know,
husbands.
Yeah, I'm sure they know. They probably looked this up or heard about it. So we've heard the facts, we've dissected some theories, but in the end, the question still lingers: what really did happen that night in DuPont Circle? Everybody has a theory. Some say it was accidental, which I don't see how or where you would come up with this theory. It doesn't make any sense. Clearly, it was staged. Others say it was planned, which I agree with. There was no resolution to it yet. Hopefully, there will be one eventually. I don't know.
I mean, they can't. It's been too long. The murder scene is gone.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
clearly didn't take enough evidence if they couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, they said that someone ran into the house, right?
Yeah.
Ran up the stairs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Were there no footsteps outside? Was there, like, no blood drops from the weapon outside when they ran away?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It's just weird, man.
It's just weird.
The knife that they said.
did they search the trash? Because if there's no blood down the drain, this blood has to be somewhere.
I feel like there has to be blood somewhere. Why did they do the spray in the UV light?
Maybe they didn't.
Maybe they didn't.
We don't know if they took adequate evidence. That's the problem.
Should, though.
And clearly, he didn't fuck himself. You know what I mean?
Well, that's where like the kinkiness comes in, right?
Exactly.
From my mind.
And
Where
he was
is the turkey baster?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I need to know.
He was a straight man. He had a wife. You know what I mean? So
They were not.
that's what I'm saying. So clearly, him having his own stuff, they were into some shit. You know what I mean?
For my logical thinking, right, is that he popped a bubble onto something, and then they put that something
Into him.
Yeah.
Well,
There's only
yeah.
explanation.
Well, yeah, but
Right.
I mean, yeah. But was
Which
it?
equals out to the BDSM, whatever.
Yeah, it's just a weird story, man. It's just a weird story.
Don't trust your friends.
Yeah.
saying.
So the Robert Wone case reminds us that sometimes there is no justice. It's just silence. Sometimes the system fails, and sometimes the truth is locked behind a door that will never open. Yeah, unless these 3 douchebags finally speak up, which
But they never will.
doubt.
Never going.
They're never
taking
going to.
it to the grave.
Yeah, because clearly they weren't helpful at all.
Dang.
After going through all this, where do you guys personally land on what might have happened?
The roommates did it.
The roommates did it.
Yeah, the fucking roommates did it. Joseph Price did it. 100%.
If they didn't do it like physically themselves, they definitely hired somebody to do it.
Yeah, it's just a very weird story where.
Because was there even like any this is what I mean, like was there any background check? Why would these men hate this guy? Why would they want to murder him?
Maybe there was like past history between the two or something.
Was there did they
I don't
dig
know.
into that? This is why people love stuff like this, because it's like these are the shortcomings of the police force. These are the questions we need to ask. Why are you
Yep.
guys not doing more? Granted, I understand that police, whatever you call them, sectors. I don't know. But I know they could be shorthanded. So like obviously they have to spread themselves so thin, so they can't do everything. But
So it says, after looking up something, it says the 3 men were never charged in the murder, right? But the 3 gay men were later named as defendants in a $20 million wrongful death lawsuit. So it was a lot of money.
That's where you get them.
It was, yeah.
yeah, I guess if you can't hurt them by putting them in jail, you gotta hurt their wallets.
Take their money.
But even though you sue them in a civil court, you can be awarded, yes, you win, they owe you $20 million. The court cannot make them pay. So you may never, ever, ever, ever see any of that money.
Yeah, they all play it.
Just like-
Was it the 5th Amendment? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Where you don't speak or
Where
something?
you don't say
You can't
nothing.
incriminate yourself.
Yeah, they all pled the 5th Amendment.
Bitches.
What's really weird to me is that they had security. Like clearly they had like the security where like the doors open, but but they didn't have a camera. I don't know. I can't.
Dirty rotten liars.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just all of it's very suspicious.
Very suspicious.
When was this done? Sorry.
I think 2006 is what I said. Let me scroll up.
I was trying to think of like if they look at their internet, like their Wi-Fi connections, can they see a camera connected? Probably not during that time.
Yeah, it was 2006 August.
Dang.
Yeah, so.
Okay, maybe they didn't have security
Maybe
cameras,
not.
I guess.
But they had a thing that makes the door go open. I
The
don't
beep
know.
beep.
And it's really weird. Like if you guys look into this case, there's a lot of documentaries on it, and they talk about how Joseph Price is talking to the police, and he says like, they heard the door ring. I'm just gonna say ring. I don't think it's a ring, but they heard the door alarm type ring thing go off.
Mm-hmm.
They heard a person run down the stairs or something, and they were gone. So in the matter of like, in my opinion, you're not gonna. I'm a deep sleeper, and sometimes if I hear something, I'm not gonna wake up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just very odd that, I heard a ring from downstairs, and the door opened, and then I went there and nothing was there. The guy was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very odd. And so it was like one guy was upstairs and the other two, I believe, were downstairs in the room together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'll wake up to noises, but when I wake up, I don't know what the noise was.
Yeah.
So it's not like I would wake up and be like, oh, that was the door. Somebody's in the house.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't think that's how that would happen.
Yeah.
But you would anticipate, right, that so when our doors open, right, it makes this
Distinctive.
distinctive sound, right? And if it's the middle of the night and everybody's home and relaxing and that sound comes off for the front door or the back door, you would think they would wake up and be like, who the fuck is coming in my house this late at night,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe.
You would think.
Yeah.
And they would be like, oh, okay. But I guess it's kind of hard to say when you have 3 roommates and they're just doing whatever the hell they want,
Yeah, that could also be a reason why he didn't just immediately jump up.
Mhm.
He was like, oh, it could be one of the other guys.
Yeah. Because so looking at like some of the Reddit stuff, Wone called his wife, said, hey, he left his class, the lawyer stuff, and he was going to go meet up with some night shift employees, and then he's going to crash at his friend's house. I'm trying to find the thing where they're like, the alarm went off.
Can't trust no one these days.
It says at 11:49, Zaborski distraught and crying, saying that we think there was an intruder in the household, or our house guest may have been stabbed. There's blood everywhere, and to send an ambulance. The dispatcher, who mistakes Zaborski's voice for a woman's voice, stays on the phone with him for 7 minutes, trying to calm him down, advising him to use a towel and a rag to apply pressure to the stab wounds. Zaborski says Price is doing so. Zaborski asks the time, and the operator says it's 11:54, but Zaborski will later misremember it being as 11:43. Zaborski tells the operator he's scared to go downstairs, but does so when he sees the lights of the ambulance, and the dispatcher asks him to unlock the door.
Quick thing.
Mm-hmm.
So he said there's blood everywhere, but when they got there, there's no blood.
Yep. Yeah.
And he said that
I mean, there was blood. There's blood obviously on the bed, but not like as if he was brutally stabbed. Like there should have been more blood, is what they're saying. You know what I mean?
So, it's just hard to believe that someone came in, knew the layout of your house, went exactly to this man, stabbed him 3 times, and left.
Especially if they said he went upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So why didn't he just go to the room of the people on the downstairs
Exactly.
bedroom?
That's what I was saying. So he knows the layout of this entire house.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if the Wone guy had had enemies.
Yeah.
Maybe they were like co-conspirators for his enemy to like murder him.
Yeah.
And they were just complicit in it. I don't know.
It's just weird.
Very weird.
Before we end to another thing, where they talk about how like he heard a scream, and then it sounded in Biker, and that's when he like went out of the way. Baker finds 3 slits in Wone's abdomen and finds no signs of life. It's just weird. And they were like, again, they said they were freshly bathed. like they just showered. So it's just really weird.
How fast would you die if you were stabbed 3 times in the abdomen?
It all really depends, right? Though
Probably
it wouldn't be immediate.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be
That's
immediate.
what I'm saying. Like, they found him already dead.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking too, right? The only way you're going to die within like seconds is if you get stabbed in the heart or you nick or cut a major artery. You're going to bleed out within like minutes, right? Or the heart just gives out.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get stabbed in the kidney and you're not going to die right away.
You got 2. You're fine.
The liver, the stomach, your intestines can be literally falling out of your body and you're not going to die right away.
Yeah, like that one girl.
You know? So, yeah, very weird.
Yeah.
Very, very weird.
Do they consider the heart part of your abdomen? Is this your
No,
abdomen?
is like here.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's no like major arteries.
So this
in
is like
abdomen,
your upper,
right?
your upper thoracic is here, and then you have like your lower thoracic is down here.
There's nothing major artery in here, right?
No, I don't think so.
And also, again, nothing.
Or your spinal cord.
Nothing was stolen too. Like he had 2 wallets full of cash. It wasn't stolen, so
It's fishy.
it's very fishy. Yeah, but that's all I got on Robert Wone's death.
That sucks.
It does suck. There's
Yeah.
there's like plenty of cases like this too that I want to cover over. It's insane.
It's crazy. Side note though, I could be highly mistaken. It's been a really long time since I've taken biology and anatomy, so if I'm mistaken, don't hate me. Don't come for me with a pickaxe.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, but anyways, again, keep grinding those levels and finishing those side quests.
As always, this has been Co-op Chronicles with Pint-Sized Geisha, Blacklabel, and me, Azzilee.
Bye.
We gather round the mic, tales of knights and dice, gaming worlds collide, hobbies come alive. Azzilee and Geisha chat, Blacklabel's where it's at. Movies and stories told, secrets to unfold. Co-op Chronicles, come and join the